Good afternoon, CCAFO, and happy Labor Day. I hope everybody is having a safe and enjoyable weekend and enjoyed this extra day off of work. In case anybody who didn't know, if you're a historian, 1894, I believe, Congress passed a law about Labor Day. Back then, Americans were working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and the country was just overworked, frustrated, and Congress put in Labor Day as a way to kind of ease the tension. I believe it was then sometime voted to be a holiday, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful that they did. Over the last few weeks, I've been pretty busy with the schedule and all. I appreciate Labor Day more this year than ever. I wanted to come to you and speak to you about a few things, more in reference to the email that I sent yesterday regarding the 5 bullet points in Arbiter. So I just wanted to kind of touch base upon those topics a little bit more thoroughly. The first one, guys, these are scrimmages, and we should be taking them seriously. I know a lot of the coaches take things a little lightly, and we should definitely be a little bit more aware of the rules that we're trying to enforce. The first thing is with the uniforms. I hope Skip Chase is watching, so I'm not looking to tell anybody to take off endorments and all those type of things. But when we meet with the coaches to discuss the logistics of each scrimmage, we should be meeting with each coach, probably all together. We want to find out if their QBs are live. That's the most important thing, because if they have passing QBs and they want to keep them upright, it is our job to find out if they are live or if they're in play. So that's really the first thing. And along with that, you should be asking the coaches, are your players properly equipped? Are all their pads covered? Any eye shields, face shields, and things of that nature. We want to try to nip those things in the bud now, because that's exactly how they're going to have to be dressed when game day starts. So we're not trying to be the fashion police, but make sure the guys are properly equipped. Cover up the pads, have them remove any type of tinted visors or anything of that nature, and just kind of go from there. The other thing we need to start doing is making sure that we address the ball situation. We need to make sure that the teams are going to have a game ball ready. So when we are, retrieving a ball on an incomplete pass, we can get a new ball in from the sideline. Guys, if we educate them now, when we get into the season, which is just a couple of weeks away, they will be more prepared and better off for the changes that are upcoming. You also might want to ask the coach any questions regarding any of the rule changes. So hopefully the 40-25 has been going well, and we want to continue to educate coaches along that and the players in those lines. Another thing about the rules, if you're an umpire, try to pull the centers aside and let them know that, prior to the game, an umpire is going to come and speak to you, and that you can address that mechanic as far as releasing the ball to the offensive team to make that ready for play. So again, education and communication is the thing that the BOC has been talking about, as well as the interpreter is going to speak to that as well, and to our president. So just kind of continue to communicate with the players, the coaches as much as possible, and we'll kind of go from there. The other thing that I wanted to talk about in my email again was the 40-25. I've been at a few scrimmages, and it's been rare that I've seen a back judge put their hand up once to give that 5-second signal. So again, we want to continue to educate the teams about playing without a visible 40-second play clock. Schools may surprise us and have that 40-second play clock ready in week 3 or 4, but let's just go into the season anticipating that there will be no visible play clock, sort of like it is now. But we just want to make sure that, again, we're educating these teams on the use of that time with the silent wind, and we are giving the teams the proper time during each play. Again, let's be hard on that 40-25. Let's be hard. I'd rather have them, just make sure that they're aware of that new rule. So we can't continue to let things slide. The other thing that we need to make sure that we're continuing to do is we must throw flags. We don't have to always enforce the penalties. We can wave them off, or it can be a teaching moment, letting the right guard or the right tackle know, hey, in a real game, we would have called that touchdown back. Or in a real game, or if this was a Saturday afternoon, that would have been a hold. So we just want to continue to educate everything and kind of go from there. So that's something that we definitely need to do. Keep in mind, guys, this is our preseason too. The few times that we were using chains and we were walking off penalties, We're walking in the wrong direction. We're walking off the wrong enforcement. So this is where we crews look good or bad. So we want to make sure that during these scrimmages, we're not just letting things go. We need to throw flags, especially the ones of safety. But some of those pre-snap things, we can always wave those off and kind of go from there. So let's make sure, again, we're adapting and throwing flags, and we're utilizing the proper mechanics and procedures when we're doing penalty enforcement. Somebody should be covering a flag. The umpire and the line judge should be walking to a spot, not necessarily together, but they should end at the same place. As we enter week 2 of scrimmages, these scrimmages are going to be a little bit less controlled. These are going to be more game-like situations, so teams are going to start to apt punting. It may be a fair catch situation, but teams are going to get into more game-like situations. So hopefully not as many coaches will be on the field, so there won't be such a safety issue. And again, guys, if the coaches are in your way, move them back. If players are in the way, move them back. Don't be afraid to take charge of the situation. The last couple of times I got into some verbal disagreements with coaches about players and things of that nature. Today at Plainville, I tried to send a guy out because they were, I won't say they were fighting, but there was just some unnecessary rough stuff after the play. Not necessarily. Guys, just tap them on the shoulder, take a play off. And in this case, Holy Cross claimed that they didn't have enough players. Well, you know what, coach, that's not my fault. You didn't bring enough guys. So let them know that we are here. On every play, guys, we should be talking to these players. Education, education, education. All righty. A couple other points, guys. Talked about the flags. Okay, again, we are approaching the last week of scrimmages. I see Brad Capon, you're on watching. Thank you. That brings up my next scenario. Scrimmages, guys. At this point, everybody should be assigned at least 2 scrimmages. I know some of you have completed your 2 assigned scrimmages. Some probably have that still to come. If you have completed your 2 assigned scrimmages, all you need to do at this point is just show up to a scrimmage and get some work in. You don't need to contact me, just go, and that type of thing. I will say this, the master list, and it is not 100% updated with one time. I believe the Enfield scrimmage is listed on Arbiter as a 6 p.m. start. However, that scrimmage has changed. It is now a 4 p.m. start. So tomorrow there are 3 scrimmages, 4, 5, and 6. You can go ahead and check Arbiter for those times. I believe it is 4 o'clock in Enfield, 5 o'clock, I believe, in Plainville. 5 o'clock is at Platt at Falcon Field, and 6 o'clock is in East Hartford. Those are the 3 scrimmages for tomorrow. I will try to get to Arbiter to update that time, but I may not get to that. So just wanted to let you know how that goes. But again, scrimmages, again, guys, they are mandatory. You need to work your 2. If you want to work more, which we should be doing, it would behoove the board to get as many snaps as we can, especially for some of these 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year guys. I appreciate all the work from the BOC and some of the mentors that we have going out. I've gotten a lot of feedback about a lot of players, a lot of different situations, things that are coming up. So we're kind of happy with that. We're happy that we had the clinic. We're happy that everybody who showed out and participated in the clinic. Andy and I spent way too much time together this past Saturday, but it was beneficial to the board. We know where we are and definitely where we need to head and what direction as far as getting these guys some additional work. So the e-board will definitely be getting together, trying to assess and implement a new plan as far as education and training. And lastly, guys, I want to talk about the schedule. I promised that I would release the schedule yesterday. After all of the work that we saw at the BOC clinics, there were several officials who just were not varsity ready. So unfortunately, we had to remove their games from them on the varsity schedule, which is causing a delay in me releasing the full schedule. I've released week 1 because I was able to go ahead and revise that. But there's still some gaps, a lot of turnbacks and things of that nature. So in speaking to the board, here's what I'm asking for you guys to say or to do. Please go back into Arbiter and look at your calendars. Either block out or unblock dates that you are either available or are not available. So what happened is I probably completed the schedule maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. The games were already in Arbiter. However, if you went into Arbiter and placed a block, and then when I released the schedule, that's why you see a game on a day that you might have blocked out after I entered the game into Arbiter. So no big deal there. Just decline the assignment, and I can go ahead and reassign that to someone else. Over the last couple of days, yesterday, the last couple of hours, I should say, I've gotten more guys who are declining games. So again, on week one, we are very thin, guys. We are very thin at week one, especially this Friday. We have 19 games. If you multiply that by 5, that's 95 slots that we need to fill for this opening night. So if you are available and you have a block or vice versa, could you please make sure that you go into Arbiter and your calendars are up to date? It would definitely help me. As far as the Labor Day holiday was concerned, I actually have an extra day off. So tomorrow is really my last day of this long weekend. I will be working on the schedule, trying to go ahead and update and fix all those vacant assignments that are still open. So again, if you can go ahead and update your Arbiter calendars with your blocks over the next few hours, I would appreciate that, because I will be working on the schedule tomorrow. My goal is to have everything completed, hopefully by the start of tomorrow's meeting. I do not plan on speaking at the meeting on Wednesday night, so I'm sure for some of you that's a great thing. But unfortunately, President Turnquist is going to speak, so you know how much time he's going to take up. But again, I thank everyone for their participation and their communication thus far. The season is just, right around the corner. And again, we have scrimmages tomorrow, and there aren't any scrimmages on Wednesday, I believe. Actually, I take that back. We do have one scrimmage on Wednesday. So if I will send out a blast for that scrimmage. We're looking for a couple of guys to go there. I think it's Bristol Eastern to go ahead and fill their scrimmage. They were gracious enough to move the scrimmage back. So anybody who wants to work the scrimmage, it won't conflict with the Wednesday night meeting. So you will be able to go ahead and work the scrimmage and then leave and then come to the meeting. Wednesday night's meeting, I'm told we're actually going to get into the breakout sessions. So this will be the first time that we can do some positional work and get those dialogue and discussions going regarding the rules and the mechanics and things of that nature. Please continue to send your scenarios and questions either to the BOC or to our interpreter, to TJ Calabrese, and he can definitely get some feedback on some of those games. As we get into these scrimmages, a lot of the schools are utilizing Huddle. They are recording them, so I'm not sure if Joe and TJ will have access to that video for scrimmages. It is definitely a good thing to go ahead and look at film. You can definitely get a lot of work by looking at your own film and film of other officials. So as many plays as you can get, as many times as you can get on the field. I definitely encourage everyone to get on the field, whether you're a veteran official or a newer official. Again, this is a crucial time for our board, not only this year, but the next couple of years. Some of the things that Andy and I saw on Saturday wasn't very positive, so we need a lot of work to kind of hurdle those members that are coming up. I definitely thank Derek Roberts. I thank Dana Turnquist, obviously Jeff Peak and Matt Brewer for your work Saturday at Hall. If I'm leaving anybody out, I apologize. Today, Tim Lenartz was just, I think he found the fountain of youth. He was at the back judge position. He was at a linesman. He was communicating. He was old school, and it was very impressive to watch. So, guys, we need more of that. We got to communicate. We got to get everybody on the same page. So, with the help of the BOC and some of our veteran officials, we can pull the younger guys to where we need to go. And again, like I said, I'm going to do my best to kind of get the schedule all released and updated prior to the Wednesday meeting. So hopefully I can do that. And again, just to reiterate, guys, this is the final week of scrimmages. Please get out and get as many snaps as you can. I continue to hear guys saying, yeah, my 2 scrimmages are done, but we should never be done. We should always be out trying to do some additional work. Maybe help a younger guy in their position. Maybe try to get some work at your secondary position. Or, in the case of Derek Roberts, maybe try to break into a new position. Like I said, the board is very thin at umpire. And back judge, we're fine. The problem that we have at back judge is that some of our our great back judge officials just aren't available on Saturday. And at that time when we have, double-digit games, 10, 11, 12 games on a Saturday, we're a little thin at that position as well. But we will definitely get there. We have our work set out for us, and I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge, and I like the challenge because the job shouldn't be easy. We should always continue to work to get better. So if anybody has any questions, we can definitely table those, and we can save those you can email me, and we can get those questions out through President Turnquest. Again, if you have any questions regarding the schedule or anything Arbiter related, please send those questions to me. Anything else that can be sent to President Turnquest. And of course, if we have anything mechanically related, send that to the BOC. So I thank you guys again for anybody who's tuned in to listen. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing for the board. Again, can't say it enough. The job is hard, but it is fun. I'm really excited for the upcoming season. I'm looking forward to getting on the field for real and actually, just get out there in the cool, crisp fall air. Now that summer is not by the calendar, but summer's officially over. So again, while we have this last couple of hours of daylight, hopefully where you are, it's not raining anymore. We can get out there and enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I look forward to seeing everybody soon. Thank you.